Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry it's been a little while. Things just got really busy. I haven't really had the money to buy things, so I felt like there wasn't much for me to update on. Although in this video that will have changed. I've decided to sell some things. I had an old phone, like my previous one, that I've sold to CEX, so I got some games from that as well. And then there's a little glitch that happened recently on EE's gaming website, and I managed to get some good stuff to sell from that as well. We'll start with yesterday. So yesterday was my 30th birthday. Had a lot of friends and family turn up. One of those friends being Bombchop, and he got me a copy of Space Marine 2 for the PS5. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Bombchop. If you don't know Bombchop, go and check him out. He does amazing videos, much better than what I can create. He talks about his collection, but he also does a lot of like platinum videos and platinum trophy list reviews of his subscribers. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go check him out. I'm sure you won't be disappointed by his content. But yeah, thank you for getting me that for my birthday. I do appreciate that. So next I'll go over like a bit of a glitch that I managed to find. I was scrolling through Hot UK Deals, which is like a site or an app, and people will upload any deals that they find. But I saw a deal on there for Lego Horizon Adventures for £19 on the EE store, which is like a phone carrier. Clicked on it because it's a game I want, and I thought £19 was a decent price. Didn't actually end up buying it because as I was looking on the related games, there was Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Now, this is normally, I mean at CEX it's £35 to buy it. Everywhere else it was on sale for like 24, 25. It was £4 a copy. And I knew straight away that was a mess up. So initially I just bought one copy for myself at £4. I thought, I ain't gonna let that go to waste. I know it will be fixed eventually, so I'm gonna buy one. Then after I bought that one, I bought another 8 copies. Well, this is 7 here because I've already given one to Bombchop as well. But the rest of these I'm either going to trade into CEX and get some other games from that, or I think a lot of these, and one is already up on my Vinted account as well. As I said, I got them for £4. I am looking to obviously make money so I can buy other games. So next thing I'll talk about, kind of related to selling on Vinted, is I've decided to sell my Only on PlayStation sleeves. So these are the ones that are left. You know, I've got God of War, Horizon, Wipeout, The Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4, and Bloodborne. Now I did have Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, and Last Guardian as well. They've already sold, but they're up on my Vinted account as well if you're interested in them. The reason I've decided to sell them is, as much as I love cardboard, and as much as it's like a meme in the collecting community at the moment, how much we all love pieces of cardboard, it was taking up 2 shelves on my Billy bookcase, and there's probably other ways I could have displayed them, but for the price that I can get for them, you know, I'm looking at £300 all in all for 9 slip covers or sleeves. It was one of them where I just had to weigh it up and think, as much as I like looking at them, what could that £300 go towards? Which is, you know, more games, maybe even collector's editions, figures, whatever I can think of I can get with that money, instead of having them pieces of cardboard. So I made the decision to get rid of them, give them to someone who would appreciate them a bit more and can have them looking really nice and smart in their own game collection. So speaking of pieces of cardboard, got a little something interesting when I was out on a little like charity shop, game hunt kind of thing up in Dudley. Popped into the cash generator up there, and as I always do, have a look around. Sometimes, you know, you can find stuff that they're slipping a little bit on, and I think this might have been one of them. So the box is a bit battered, but it's the big box version of iTypeplay. As you can see, it's a bit creased. I mean, that side looks all right, to be fair. The back's not too bad, but this side and the front of it is a bit battered. I tried doing the ironing trick to kind of sort it out a little bit and try and make it look a bit better, but I think it's one of them where it's that far gone, unfortunately. It didn't do much. But the best part about this is the game is actually still sealed, so it's a totally brand new copy of the game and a totally brand new eye-tie. You know, never been opened, never been used. So when I saw this, obviously it took my interest. I saw that the price was £2.99. I weren't going to leave it there for that. You know, the price, less than the price of a copy nowadays, to have something that's what, like 20 plus years old, totally brand new on the inside, a little bit battered on the outside, but I can live with that. Yeah, absolutely amazing deal. I know it only goes for like £10 online and stuff like that, but it's something that's a little bit unique and interesting in the collection, so for £3, why not? Whilst up in Dudley, I popped into one of the charity shops up there. I think it's Mary Stephen's Hospice. Usually alright in there for kids' toys and stuff, but there was 3 PS2 games in there that I didn't have, and when I asked the price, they said they're doing them at £1 each. So you've got Haven, Call of the King. This one isn't complete, doesn't have the manual. You've got Medal of Honor European Assault. And I think this one is complete. Yep, that one's got the manual. And then the final one was SpongeBob SquarePants Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. And again, this one is not complete. All the discs are in good condition though. So I do have a little memory from when I was younger for Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. And it was back in the day when Game Station was around, and they used to have a store in Birmingham, kind of where the CEX is there now, over the road from that. Went in there with my mum, and I think they were doing like a 3 for 20 or 3 for 10 something. So she let me pick a game, my brother pick a game, and then a game that we could share. This was the game that I picked, and I was excited to get home and play it. You know, I loved SpongeBob like most kids did back then, and the disc didn't work. And it wasn't like a short journey from our place to Game Station in Birmingham. We were looking, you know, 2 buses, like a 30-40 minute journey. So it was something that I couldn't get changed until the next weekend, and it was just absolutely gutting. I think I was that gutted that when we went back, I didn't even choose to get another copy of this. I chose something else. So I've never actually played this, but I would like to give it a go and see if, you know, 7-year-old me or however old I was hyped for this for a good reason or not. But yeah, finally have that in the collection, and I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but hopefully it works. So next I'll do another rare eBay purchase for me. Every now and then you can find some absolute bargains if you're watching the auctions, but in the case of this one, which is the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 Remix Limited Edition, that's a bit of a mouthful. I mean, he had it listed as brand new and sealed, and I mean, you can see from the bottom, like with the dirt on that, and there's a few creases on the the corners and stuff, which tells me this is a resale job. Now, it's still in good condition, so I don't mind it. This goes at CEX for, I think it's £10 for the limited edition. I got this for £5.50. Now, I've been waiting to open it. I know it's not actually new and sealed, but I've been waiting to open it on camera so we can have a look at how it looks inside. Maybe that would have been a mistake, you know, if it's not got the right disc, but I do have a normal copy of the game anyway. So I could just put that disc in. But let's open it and find out. So as you can see, it's in good condition. It's not perfect. There's like a crease on the front there. There's a little tear on the back there. The corners, I mean, you kind of expect that with cardboard over time. The corners get a bit damaged where it's been put on and off a shelf. But overall, I'm happy with that. Obviously, the inside is absolutely perfect. Nothing going on with that at all. The disc is in there. It's the correct disc. Yeah, absolutely stunning condition. I mean, Blu-ray is really hard to mess up anyway. You've got to really want to do damage to it. Obviously, the main reason to get this edition is it's got like an art book inside. Try and open that a bit more. It's just got some cool stuff going on in there, character art and all that. But yeah, to get that for £5.50, you know, I've been looking to get this in the collection anyway, same with the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix one. I Obviously, as I've probably said before, I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I ain't gonna complain, but I'm really happy that it's still in good condition. It was a resale job, but I got it for cheap enough anyway that didn't matter. Next, I got just one game off the Amazon. Was it a Prime Day sale? I looked through and there were some good deals, but nothing that really caught my attention. A lot of the stuff I already had or wasn't interested in. But one that I keep looking at every time I'm going to CEX, and that is Monster Menu, the Scavenger's Cookbook. So with Monster Menu, it's like a JRPG, turn-based. It looks like when you kill the monsters, you get ingredients and you have to eat to survive and stuff like that. I don't know, it just always looked really interesting. The cover always caught my attention. Even the side being the colour that it is, it just kind of stands out on a shelf. Obviously this is brand new and sealed, and it's the deluxe edition, which apparently comes with a digital soundtrack and mini art book. So I think I paid £9 or £8 for this, and then it would have traded into CEX for like 11. Don't know if that's still the case, but to get it for as cheap as that, I'm always happy beating the CEX prices. So next one I got from the games collection. It wasn't part of a sale, but they do a thing with certain games where they will give you £10 extra in like store credit if you buy it. So I got Tales of Grace's F Remastered for £25, which is about the going rate, but then I've got £10 of credit on their website to use on any of the games, and they have a massive selection of games at £9.95. They call themselves the home of £9.95. So I can just pick one of them games for free essentially, and for that £25 I would have got Tales of Grace's F and whatever game I pick. It's looking like it might be Shinobi, but I'm seeing what else they add in there, or if there's any sales that come on soon. So we'll talk about the things that I got on Vinted, and in an update to one of my previous videos, I opened a package of games, and one of the games wasn't the correct game in there. I'd ordered Metro Exodus, which she did send, and she was very apologetic and everything. It wasn't her fault, and it happens. I've done it recently. Sent out a wrong item and I've had to pay out of pocket to send the correct item and let them keep the wrong one that I sent. But yeah, finally got this, so that means I have completed the Metro series on the PS4. I was looking at getting the Aurora edition of this, but I think the prices are just going up a bit at the moment. So compared to paying, I think I only paid like £5 for that, maybe even less. Whereas the Aurora edition, you're probably looking at like 20 to 25. So maybe one day we'll find it cheap enough, I'll pick it up and I can swap it out. But for now, that takes good place in the collection. And it's a game that I have wanted to play for years. I enjoyed 2033 and Last Light. Never played Exodus, so eventually I want to get through that and give it a go. Now, one that I got for an absolute bargain, in my opinion, is Cities Skylines, the PlayStation 4 edition. I got this for £4. Obviously that's before fees and shipping, so I'm probably looking at more like 6 or 7. But for that price, when CX sell it for, I think, is it 15? Somewhere around there. It is a game that I've already platinumed, so that's why I was looking for a cheap copy of it to sit in the collection. It is actually one of my rarest platinums, and I think it sits at like 0.1%. Happy to add that to the collection. And then the next two, I think I got these for, was it £6 or £8? I think it was £6, but £8 with fees. A bundle of 2 games. Got Surviving Mars, which is my kind of game as well. A city builder, but on Mars. It looks interesting. You have to deal with the environment and kind of survive all of the things that might come your way. But then the one that I bought the bundle for was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. One that I've been looking forward to for a bit because I did enjoy playing this back in the day. But this has held its value really well for some reason. I don't know if it was like a limited print or what. So happy to add them both to the collection. But next we've got 2 bundles from CX that I've got at different points. So the first one I got from the trade-ins I had from previous videos, the stuff that I bought off Vinted and I already had. But they are that cheap, I just bought to trade in. So the games that I got with that, one of them will complete a subset, which is the Darksiders subset on the PS4. Got Darksiders 1, 2, 3 and Genesis. I think they're the only ones on there. But yeah, for some reason this one eluded me for ages, even though it's the cheapest one. I think it was only £6. It's just never in stock. So when I saw it, I had to get it straight away. I also got this, which do you call a subset of a series with just 2 games? I don't know, but you know, this is the second Infamous game on the PS4, and now I have them both. So this was also one that held its value for a while, but it's come down quite a bit recently, so I got this for £12. Looking forward to playing it because I do enjoy that style of game, and it's a shame that Sucker Punch has now moved on to like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff. I'd love for him to go back and do some more Infamous games at some point. Another one I got is one that I kept seeing in CEX. I mean, it says it has an extended manual and original soundtrack CD. They are not in here, but that is Anima Gated Memories, where it says that is just up the top there. So I'm guessing they're missing. I didn't realise it till I bought it, but I kept seeing it in CEX. I remember hearing something about this back in the day. I don't think it's meant to be very good, but it looks like something I might enjoy. It's like an action RPG, so we'll see. I'll give it a go, and if I don't like it, I don't like it, do I? But I think that was only like £8 or £6. And then a game I got based on a recommendation from one of you guys. You left it in the comments, so I can't remember who it was, but I'll put it down here. But that was to get Hidden Agenda. And I remember you saying that it was like a really amazing game, and you know, it's normally only £2, which I think it was. But again, it's another game that I think it's so cheap that people just buy it because it's so cheap. Again, I saw a copy, had to get it. So I think all of that was just under £30, and that was pretty much what I got for the games that I had. Now this last bundle I did in the week, so I think it was last Wednesday. Popped up to West Brom, another local town, but I had my old phone taken, so I had a Google Pixel 6a and I upgraded to the 8a. This is probably like 6 months ago now, and then I forgot about it. It was in the back of a drawer, and whilst I was having a sort out, I found it and I was like, oh god, I can trade this in. Let's still see what I can get. And it was £102. But what I did get, we'll start with some of the cheaper games. So I got Among Us Crewmate Edition, all complete, everything's in there. So you've got the DLC codes and stuff, the ID badge, I think that is, sticker sheet, and a map. And obviously then as well you have the little 3D effect holographic thing. To get that for, was it what, £5, £6? For a PS5 game, I know it's not expensive anyway. Another cheap game I got, I think this was £6 as well, maybe £5, The Sojourn. So it's a puzzle game, a 3D puzzle game. You walk through areas and there's like puzzles, kind of similar to The Witness, but I think it's a third person perspective. Looks interesting, and again, for so cheap, thought why not. And another one that I wanted to get when it released, but I got it for £6, and that is Exo Primal. Looked like something that would be fun to play with friends. I think I read somewhere that the servers are shutting down at some point. Maybe they already have. So maybe it's too late for me to be buying this. This is one that I've been looking at for a while, specifically the deluxe edition on Amazon, but it just never come down to a decent price. And then I saw this in CEX for £18, and that is Farmasia. I could see this being a game that has come down in price now, but will eventually go back up, because it's not a very common one. And it has an interesting premise. So you raise a monster army from seeds. You get seeds, you plant them, they grow, and then they turn into monsters. And then you use them monsters to fight in battles and stuff. But yeah, just a really interesting game, and one I could see gaining value in the future. Next one, another one I wanted to get when it released, because I do enjoy these style of games, but that is Sonic X Shadow Generations. I have the original on PS3, but obviously this adds a lot more stuff, and it's like remastered, so it's runs better and stuff like that. And then you also got like a manual, which is unusual for PS5, but also a little like journal. It's got like little bits in there related to the creation of Shadow, I believe. But yeah, just a really interesting thing to get. Glad to get that. Good condition and complete as well, so I think that was £22. And the last one I got I was looking at getting it anyway, and then I saw they had a steelbook copy of it in, and that is Elden Ring Night Rain, the Seeker's Edition. Now obviously I'm guessing the DLC and stuff would have been used, but the steelbook is still really nice, and it will go nicely with my normal Elden Ring steelbook that I got in the collector's edition. So obviously inside of here you get the manual and the codes. Yeah, happy to get the steelbook. Steelbook's in good condition. There's no like dents or anything, so happy to have that. Just think it looks really nice, and it is a game I'm looking forward to playing. So that's all the games that I got in the last month or two. But something that I also bought when I went to Dudley on a little charity shop hunt was this really cool original Sonic plush. Now this is from 1991 or 1992. It is worth quite a bit of money. Now this, it looks like it's in good condition and it's quite clean, all things considered. But the stitching has come loose on his head there. Which isn't an issue, you know, if it's down, you literally can't tell. But I'm guessing for people who like collections and stuff, that might be an issue. I'm in two minds about whether to, I mean, it is up on my Vinted as well. I think I've got it on there for like £23. Normally these sell for like 50 to 60. But yeah, I'm guessing the damage is quite off-putting, but everything else about this is in pretty good condition. But yeah, we'll see. I'd rather keep it if it goes below a certain point, because it's a cool piece of like gaming history to have. It is also missing the tag, which is another issue, like it's ripped off. And that's just the condition I bought it in, so. But yeah, it's a cool little piece to have. You know, it's not very often you see plushies like this from the 90s, early 90s, in this condition as well. So, you know, for what it is, I think it's a really cool little piece to have. Something else I did get from a different charity shop is, I think this is from Sutton Coldfield, a LED light up Minecraft stand. As you can see, I got that for £3, and I can finally take this sticker off now. But it is cool. The problem is, like, it'll fit here, that's where I've got it, on the bottom of these, but it won't fit in the Kallax units. And it won't fit in the smaller billies either, like this one here. It's just too wide. So I don't really know where I would keep this in my collection, because where I've got it currently, there's nowhere for me to plug it in to light it up. But yeah, it's in nice condition. There's no like knocks or anything. The light works in it fine. But yeah, I think that is everything that I have bought in the last month or two. Obviously it was quite a lot to get through, but I'm happy with the things that I've got. I'm happy to finally have been able to get some more stuff. And obviously now I've got a bit of birthday money, I've got an Amazon voucher, and when the rest of these things sell, I'll have a bit more money then as well. So I'll be able to treat myself to some more things to show you guys again soon, hopefully. What have I been playing lately? Balatro is still going on. I've finished and platinum Stellar Blade. What an amazing game. Loved it to the point where as soon as I finished it and got the 2 endings, you have to do a 3rd ending, but it requires you to play the game a little differently. So I just finished it one night. The next day I started a new game and just blasted through it, and I think within 2 days I'd got it done. I think it was about 5 or 6 hours just to see that final ending. And yeah, absolutely fantastic game. Really recommend it to people who are fans of like action RPGs and stuff. Obviously I've got Space Marines 2 to play with Bomb Chop and our other friend. We've also been playing a lot of Battlefield, actually having quite a bit of fun with it. Yes, it doesn't live up to the other Battlefield games, but we've been enjoying it, playing it together. One that we did recently pick up 3 or 4 days ago was Wildgate on the PS5 from Dreamhaven, which is like a developer full of ex-Blizzard devs. And it's a good foundation for a game. Me and my friends were talking about it, and we were saying like, you can tell it's going to get boring quite quick if they don't have like a consistent stream of content to come out for it, whether that's like new events, new ships, new characters. But it's really fun. It's like it reminds me a lot of Hunt Showdown. So it's like PvEVP. There's like different bosses and events you can do on the map, but there's one artifact in one of these events, and if you get the artifact and leave, you win. or if you destroy all the other players' ships, you win. So you can either go on the full aggressive, or you can try and find the artifact and get out sneakily. But when you find the artifact, it alerts all the other players to your location, so they know where you are, and they can come and hunt you down. Yeah, check it out if you haven't. It's only £25 on the PlayStation Store, and I think it's £30 on Steam, so it's a cheap game. I think that's everything I have to speak about or show today. So I'm sorry it's been as much of a break as it has been. I can make up excuses as much as I want, but at the end of the day, it's just I've been playing games more, spending more time with my children. Even though I'm on the summer holidays at the moment, my partner is not. Like, she still works. She's a nurse, so basically in the daytime I've got the kids on my own throughout the week, and then on the weekends we're doing stuff as a family. I mean, I'll try and get as many videos as I can out over these 6 weeks. If I can get 1 video a week, that'll be great. But yeah, thank you so much for sticking around if you're still here. Thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for liking and subscribing and commenting and all that good stuff. I do really appreciate it. I do still read the comments and reply, so I do appreciate that. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.